Good morning, students. How's you all? I hope you are very well at your home. Be safe. Today we will start with another topic, that is periodic trace in property of elements. Now, it is a very new topic. You are not aware about this because little bit you have learned in your previous class. We have learned that in case of periodic table, there is a lots of elements are present. So they have had different kinds of atomic size, they have a different kinds of enthalpies, they have a different kinds of their positive and negative charge formation capability. So how their atomic size, how their size will vary in the periodic table. It means you learn that we have a period and in a group. A periodic table is divided into the periods and group. So what will be happen if we move up to down into the group, and what will be happen if we move left to right in the periodic table? So first, one by one we will discuss all the periodic trends and what are the properties. First, in today's lecture we only discussed about the atomic radius and atomic size and how it will be changed into the different category in a period and in a group, and why. So as atomic radius, what is the you mean by the atomic radius? Simply, if we consider two atoms are present, they are very close together. So if only one atom are present, we know that in one atom there is a positive and an electron cloud, charge of electron cloud. So it is very difficult to, in a way of practical, to be calculate the radius of single atom in a individual atom, because there is a positive cloud, there is a whole electronic clouds out of the sphere, as we know that, and it is very difficult. So what we have to calculate the atomic radius in a simple way. Then when they are present in the combined form, they are form molecules, they are form atoms, they are form compounds. In that condition, we only calculate atomic radius. So first thing, we only calculate atomic radius in the combined form. In the elementary form, we cannot calculate the atomic radius. Just for example, this atomic radius we have to divide it into the two different parts, covalent radius and metallic radius. As we know that there is some elements which behave as a metal, there are some elements which are non-metal. So basically, what is covalent radius? That are present in the non-metals. When non-metals are combined, just for example, we consider hydrogen element. When two hydrogen elements H and H are combined together, they will form hydrogen gas. Same here, I will give you example of chlorine. So what is covalent radius? Basically, when two chlorine atoms are present, they have this sphere-like structure. The total distance between present in this chlorine atom from the center of the chlorine one element, and the center of the another element, the total distance present in between the center of the element, and we have to just half of this total distance, then we will calculate the atomic radius or covalent radius. Just for example, if you want to calculate the covalent radius or metallic radius as well, how we calculate? We just calculate the total distance present between the center of the atoms or metals and non-metals, and just half of it. Just for example, in chlorine, it is calculated the total distance between the two chlorine atoms is 198 picometer. And if we want to calculate the covalent radius, we have just divide 198 by 2 and we obtain 99 picometer. 99 picometer as a covalent radius of this chlorine molecule. Same, what is metallic radius? As we know that it is only present, its name indicates, it is only present in the metals. So if they are present in the metals, they are known as metallic radius. Just for example, we have a different kinds of metal: copper, iron, sodium, potassium. So if they are present in the nature and we want to calculate their radius, so it is known as metallic radius. Okay, same, how can we calculate metallic radius? Same in a way of covalent radius. Just for example, we have taken the copper, the total distance between these two copper, and just half of it. Then we calculate it to the atomic metallic radius. But the question arises, this and metallic radius, how will they affect the size? As we know that our atom are the sphere. It is like a sphere, and if we consider as a sphere, we know that we have easily calculate. If we want to that, there is, for example, I have to give two circles here, this, and I am asking to you which is in another size, which is a bigger size. So you simply say the radius. The particular sphere which have a bigger radius have a bigger size. The same concept we applied in the atomic radius or atomic size also. So if we know about the atomic radius, so we have easily calculate the atomic size, and we easily calculate and we easily told about which one is smaller element or which one is smaller atom and which one is a bigger atom. So basically, to calculate atomic size, we need atomic radius. And how can we calculate atomic radius? I already explained. Now, what happens when we move into the left and right into the periodic table and up to down into the periodic table? It means when we move periods and when we move groups, what is the effect? What are the changes occur in the atomic size? So here, when we move in the period, the atomic size decreases, and when we move up to down, the atomic size increases. Now question arises why? So simple, we know that in case of periods, number of shell is remain same. So number of shells remain same. It means if a particular electron moves in the fourth shell or third shell, it will be in the same. In case of whole period, only the total number will be increased or total number of electron will increase, but the shell will be same. Just for example, in this particular picture, electron will add in this particular shell. Only one shell or second shell. Okay. But when we move up to down, that is a group, what happens? The number of shell will be increased. Here, number of shell increases. It means the coming electron will add up into the next shell. It means in a first period, if we add into the first shell, in second period, the number of electron will be added into the second shell. In third period, the number of electron will add into the third shell. It means as we move up to down, number of shells increases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means its size automatically, we have no notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means they have increased their size. As here, number of shells increases. So total attraction force which are given by the proton to the electron will repetitively decreases because size is increased. The outermost shell which are present in the electron or which are present into the atom, the attraction force on that particular electron will become very less. So if in case of atomic radius or we say atomic size, it will be increased. If someone is asking to you why it is increases, so there is a two answer. First, because in group number of shell increases. First, as we move down, number of shell is increasing. What is the second? Second point is as we move down, number of shell increase, but at the same time the attraction force between the positive part proton and the negative part of electron on the outermost shells also decreases because electron will move far apart. As we move down, electron will far apart from the protons. That's why as we move in the group, simple, we can consider that its size is increasing. But in case of period, number of shells remains same. But as we move left to right, number of electron will increases. Number of electron continuously increases. So number of electron continuously increases, same number of proton also increases, and you already know that. Total number of electron is equal to total number of proton. So what happens in case of periods, shells will remain same, but in this shell, first we add one electron, second we add second electron, third, then fourth. Number of electron continuously increases. If the number of electron continuously increases, what happens? attraction force between the electron and proton also increases. It means now this proton will more attract the electron. It means there is some shrinkage of sphere will be occurred. So in this particular case, what happens when we move in the periods, atomic size decrease because first region number of shells will remain same, and the second effective nuclear charge. What is that? Effective nuclear charge. Effective nuclear charge. And what is this effective nuclear charge? As I already told you, the attraction force present between the positive and negative part. It is called the effective nuclear charge. So this effective nuclear charge will be increases, and due to the increase of effective nuclear charge, what happens? There is shrinkage, some kind of shrinkage are present in the size. So as we move up to left to right, number of shells remains same, effective nuclear charge increases. Both of the effect, what happens? Atomic size decreases. Same when we move into the group, what happens? Number of shells increases, but this effective nuclear charge will be decreased. Due to these two effects, what happens? Atomic size increases. Just for example, if we consider in how can it consider when we move, here we have hydrogen, lithium, potassium, rubidium. Okay, you know, first group, hydrogen, lithium, potassium and rubidium. Or we have say hydrogen, lithium, sodium and rubidium. So we have, when we move from this hydrogen, lithium, sodium, rubidium, and if I ask you what are the what atomic atom have a highest atomic size, so we have said that the rubidium, then sodium, then lithium, and the smallest size is hydrogen. Simple. As we consider in the periods, just for example, we know that in our first group, there is a first period, hydrogen and helium are present. And in the second, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen are present. So, when we consider this, if, instead of nitrogen and oxygen, which one have a bigger size? So, we said that nitrogen have a bigger size because it comes first. And oxygen have a lesser size than the nitrogen because it comes after in the periods. Now, we will consider what happened in the atomic ionic radius. What is ionic radius? When in the particular matter or particular element, when there is losing of electron or gaining of electron, then it will be converted into the ions. There are two types of ions are present, cation and anions. Okay. So what happens in case of cation and anions? When an element is present and we just remove one electron. It converted into the cation. We can remove 2 electrons, we can remove 3 electrons. It will be depend on the valence electron present in the atom. But when we add the electron in the neutral atom, then it will be contain a negative charge, and we will call it anion. If someone is asking you what will be effect what is the effect of the size in the case of cation and its parent, what is the effect of anion and its parents, how it will be changed. So it is simple. How can we calculate, how can we know? In case of, just for example, if I consider oxygen, here, we know that the atomic number of oxygen is 8. Okay, now if atomic number of oxygen is 8 and it has 2 negative charges, how it carries 2 negative charge? When we add 2 electrons in it. Because when we add the electron, it will be converted into the anion. So oxygen has number of electrons in oxygen, then it is a neutral form. It has a number of electron 8 and number of proton is also 8. But when we consider this O2 negative, what happens? Number of electron will increase 10. Number of electron will increase 10 because 2 more electron will add. But number of proton is remain as 8. Number of proton will not change. If number of proton will not change, it means here 8 proton will attracted 10 electrons. And here 8 proton attracted 8 electrons. So obviously when 8 will attracted 8 protons, the nucleus force and attraction force is more. But when 8 electron size is increasing. So what happens in case of anion, cation or anion? That anion is always have a bigger size of their parent. Anion is always have a bigger size on their parents. And now what will happen in the cation? Just for example, we take sodium. Sodium atomic number is 11. It means 281. Now if we remove one electron, it means it will be changed into the cation. It will be converted into the Na+. It means one electron will be removed. If one electron will be removed, now what happens? In case of this particular sodium, total number of electrons remain 11. But in case of sodium ion, sodium cation, what happens? Number of electrons remains 10. What? Number of proton? 11. Number of proton? 11. Now think, here is number of proton 11 and it will be attracting 10 electrons only. Here number of proton is 11 and it will be attracting 11 electrons. So obviously 11 proton attracted 10 electrons will be is more. It means when it will be converted into the positive ion or cation, the attraction, nuclear force of attraction, nuclear charge will be more. It means if nuclear charge is more, it will be shrinks some atomic radius. So in case of cation, what happens? Cation always have lesser size than its parent element or parent atoms. So we have a trend. What have we have trend? Anion have a bigger size than the parent, and cation has a smaller size than their parent. Just for example, sodium element or sodium atom have greater size than the sodium anion, and oxygen cation is also have a greater size than oxygen. It means if someone is asking to you, anion have a more charge or cation have a more charge, or anion have a more size or cation have a more size. So you simply say anion have a more size or more bigger size than their parent, and cation will have lesser size. In this particular example, we have tried for different kinds of examples in your books also, and we have considered different kinds of example also. Just for example, if we consider chlorine, we know that in chlorine there is 7 electrons are present in the outer motion. So what happens? One electron comes to complete its octets. If it takes one electron, it will be converted into Cl-. Now, what is the size of Cl- and Cl? Which one is bigger? If number of electron increases, attraction force decrease, it means size will be increased. As attraction force decrease, size will increase. It is an inverse relation. So, chloride anion have a bigger size than the chloride element or chlorine atoms. I think this whole topic will be understood to you, and different kinds of trends we will learn in the next classes, that is enthalpy and ionization, electronegativity. As we move in this chapter, we learn more and we have more interest in this particular chapter. Thank you.